Good morning and welcome to the Morning Scoop for Thursday, July 1st. This is your daily Buckeye fix. I'm Tom Orr. The Minnesota game is in 63 days, the game against Michigan in 149 days. Wednesday, the NCAA officially voted to suspend its existing rules against NIL, which means today is the first day when college athletes are now able to capitalize on their name, image, and likeness rights. That means you may start seeing soon some sponsored social media posts, ads, autograph appearances, and more. So an Iowa basketball player is doing an autograph appearance at a fireworks store today. That's timely. Wednesday was also a good one on the recruiting trail for the Buckeyes. No JT Tuimoloau at least yet, but they did add Scoop 100 cornerback Terrance Brooks to the 2022 recruiting class. My guest today is Buckeye Scoop recruiting analyst Bill Greene. He helped put together that Scoop 100 list. And Bill, you and Mark obviously thought pretty highly of Brooks to have him on that list. So what does he bring to Ohio State?
Yeah, he fits with, what Ohio State wants on the corner, what we've seen them have on the corner recently, other than last year, which was an aberration. But, you start talking about Gary and Conley and Marshawn Lattimore and Eli Apple and Jeff Okudah and those guys. I mean, this guy fits right in with those guys. He's a great football player, long, athletic. Just he's what we've grown to expect to see playing corner for Ohio State, other than what we saw last year. So this gets them back again, although, J.K. Johnson, Hancock, those guys are getting them back to where they want to be. Then you have this current class right now. Now he's the fourth corner committed. I think Kai Stokes can play corner if they need him to, or nickel, and maybe you got five. I mean, you start putting these guys out there, and you don't give up 52 points to Alabama with these guys out there. They can cover anyone. And so this is, it's great. It's what Kerry Combs was hired to do, and it's what he does. He is probably the equivalent of Brian Hartline on the other side of the ball as a recruiter. You want to say Hartline's the best in the country or Combs is the best in the country? Not getting any argument from me.
Well, you mentioned Alabama there. Brooks was just coming off a visit to Alabama. There was a lot of optimism from the Tide side of things coming out of that. So do you have a sense for why he pulled the trigger for Ohio State and how solid that might be to actually stick through signing day?
I think he is really the epitome of what I wrote on Wednesday morning about just how darn good Ohio State, how good they are and how good they have been since Urban walked through that door with these official visits. If they can get that kid on campus for 48 hours, their success rate is phenomenal. And this was something that Urban and Mark Pantoni brought with them to Ohio State. And, if they can just get them on campus, get that official visit underway, and the academic staff, the support staff, the Real Life Wednesday staff, just the, and we've been to camp and we've been around these assistant coaches. We've been around Ryan Day. There's just a good feeling with those guys. We watch them in action. We watch them coach. We watch them interact. Every once in a while, they'll talk to us, and it's just a great group. So when you add everything in, the campus, which really blows these recruits away, they take them downtown and they find out that Columbus is really not Des Moines. It's not Ames. It's a heck of a city. It's more Chicago than it is Des Moines. You add it all in, and man, get the kid on an official visit, and Ohio State is in the game. And this was the perfect example. And we're going to get another one coming with Chris McClellan. Same thing. Chris McClellan was headed to Florida. There is no doubt about it. 48 hours in Columbus, and Florida's done. He's not going to Florida anymore. And the same thing happened with Terrance Brooks.
All right, and we'll get to Chris McClellan in it, but I do want to ask you mentioned those four cornerback commits for 2022. Yeah. Right now it's Jaheim Singletary, Terrance Brooks, Jair Brown, Ryan Turner. All four of them have been the topic of at least some concern as a potential flip. You don't generally sign four corners in that class. So, do you get the sense that adding Brooks might end up leading to one of the other guys decommitting because that room is suddenly so crowded? So, and if that's true, is this just stockpile as much talent as you can and then just try like heck to keep as many of them committed as you can? Like, what's the game plan here?
Yeah, I think that's it. It's no different than what Ryan Day is doing with the quarterback position. You know what I mean? Do I think Ewers, Miller, Stroud, McCord are all going to get degrees from Ohio State and spend 4 or 5 years there? No, I don't. Doesn't matter. Those that stay stay. Those that leave, and we'll just replace them with guys that look just like them. And at the cornerback, I see no chance they sign all 4 of these guys. I'm sure Ryan Day and Kerry Combs would argue with that. I don't think it's true. I think there's, I wrote again this Wednesday morning that there's a lot of drama coming in the cornerback room. I don't know what Jaheim Singletary is going to do. He's certainly not clearing things up with his infrequent tweets. Ryan Turner, I know in my mind, I can't prove it, but I think he visited Florida last week with his parents, and I think it went really well. I don't have pictures of it. He's not going to tell me it happened. I think it did happen. Singletary, Georgia, Miami, and Florida all think they have a chance. Then you drop down to, Jair Brown, who, he has been concerned about depth all along, about who they're bringing in. Very similar to what Devontae Smith went through last year when they brought in Hancock and J.K. Johnson. So what does this do for Jair Brown? What's Jaheim Singletary going to do? Where do things sit with Ryan Turner? I have no clue. I would sit here right now and tell you that Terrance Brooks is probably the most likely one of the group to sign with Ohio State. So, if you like recruiting drama, this is the position to focus on. Keep an eye on those corners going forward. And I have guys in Florida that I trust telling me that Kai Stokes is probably a nickel, can be a safety, might be an outside corner. So they think he's a better player than Banks, and they think he's really good. So, we'll see what happens here. But, from Ryan Day's standpoint, I'm gonna bring in as many great players as I can, and we'll sort it out. And if people don't want to be in the class, we'll find great players that do.
Well, after that Brooks commitment on Wednesday, CJ Hicks tweeted out, quote, "Let me remind y'all, we got more coming." And the LeBron gif, not 1, not 2, not 3. It seems fairly likely that defensive tackle Chris McClellan, who you mentioned earlier, will be one of them.
Yes.
Alex talked about him a little bit on the show earlier this week, but I wanted to let you kind of provide a little bit of a scouting report on where he could fit with the Buckeyes.
Yeah, to me, he reminds me of sort of a Davon Hamilton type, and I think Ohio State would love to have another Davon Hamilton type. He's very similar to Mike Hall too. He's that type of player. Perfect 4-3 tackle, quick off the ball, powerful, can provide a pass rush from the inside, which is so important, from the tackle spot. I think I wrote on Tuesday. I did have a head coach who's recruiting Chris McClellan tell me that McClellan told him, my recruitment's over. I'm going to be committing to Ohio State soon. And this head coach had no reason to lie about that. It was not good news to him. But so I think CJ Hicks is referring to Chris McClellan. I expect to see McClellan in the class at any time.
You mentioned earlier Kerry Combs and Brian Hartline and how fantastic their hit rate is on recruits. Another guy who's pretty darn good at bringing in top talent from across the country, Larry Johnson. He did get some bad news this week, though, with 5-star defensive lineman Brendan Vernon from Mentor. He's an edge in the class of 2023, committed to Notre Dame coming off of a visit there. That was something you guys had been talking about as a possibility, and we'd sort of talk, Luke Montgomery, Brendan Vernon, who's more likely to head elsewhere, and you had been very consistent in saying Brendan Vernon, that the Irish were definitely, in his particular case, a bigger threat than people thought.
Yeah.
Is he someone that Ohio State might be able to flip back, or is that pretty much, are you viewing that as a done deal? There's a long way to go till signing day 2023, but yeah.
Long way. He's got 2 more seasons of high school to play, but just the quality of individual he is. Kirk and I were able to meet his parents last Tuesday at camp. And, after talking to the parents, Kirk and I both came away thinking Notre Dame is a serious threat here. And then in Brennan's interview, he didn't really pull any punches either about where Notre Dame stood with him. So, Notre Dame, they're really recruiting Ohio well right now. Marcus Freeman, I'm sure, helped in that recruitment. The D-line coach is Mike Elston. He's an Ohio guy. He's been in Notre Dame forever. Put Stephon Tuitt, guys like that in the league. Great guy, great recruiter. Brennan, if you're an Ohio State fan, you think there's no comparison between the 2 programs, but, they've been in the playoffs 2 of the past 3 years. They play an amazing schedule. The education is world class. I get it. It makes sense to me. It wasn't like he committed to Texas Tech or Mississippi State over Ohio State. So I think it's probably going to stick. To be honest with you, I think Brennan will end up going to Notre Dame. I don't think there's any game player in the kid. I don't think the parents would permit that. And, I think Ohio State will continue to try. And Brian Kelly, is he still there in 2 years? Is there any turnover there that we see all over the place in college football? So things can change, but it's going to take something probably earth-shattering for Brennan Vernon to not end up at Notre Dame.
All right, and let's end up with another 5-star defensive lineman. Yes, friends, it is time for your daily JT Tuimoloau update. I have seen people getting nervous that it's still lingering, hey, this is supposedly done. Why is this not done yet? What is he waiting for? So, Bill, I'll let you weigh in here on where you think he ends up. And are you still sticking with Ohio State? Should people be getting nervous right now? What are you hearing?
Now, Tuimoloau is the D lineman from Washington, I believe.
Yes, okay. From Washington. Yeah, he's actually a 2021, which is crazy because most of the 2021s have already committed. But he's just kind of lingering. I mean, just to refresh your memory, because I mean, we talk about a lot of kids. So yes, that's who we're talking about. Go ahead. Yeah.
Now I remember him. Yeah, the one that showed up on the airplane.
Yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah,
at the airport. I still think he's coming to Ohio State. As for what he's waiting on, I have no idea. We do know July 1st that the recruiting rules and the NIL stuff kicks in. So if we see a commitment video come out today or, July 2nd, maybe that's sponsored by Ford Motor Company or AT&T, then we'll know the kid got a nice check for $60,000 to make his commitment. So I don't know. I really don't know what he's waiting on. He needs to get to his school, which I think will be Ohio State. Behind on conditioning, and if he wants to make an impact this fall, he's got to get there and get in and get moving. So I expect an announcement any time now. I really thought Wednesday around noon his time we would know. Obviously, we don't know. Did he wait for the NIL to kick in on July 1? I would have if I was him. I know that. If there's a chance to get that early check, I would do it. So we'll see, Tom. I mean, I think it's coming soon. And I think it's going to be Ohio State. No change there for me.
All right. Well, in addition to the Tuimoloau saga, there's a lot of other stuff going on right now at Buckeye Scoop. Mark Givler is out at the Elite 11 out in California. That actually started Wednesday night. The plan is to have Mark on tomorrow's morning show to talk about what he's seen from Quinn Ewers so far once he's gotten a full day of scouting in person. Probably getting a chance to talk to Quinn, I would assume. So that'll be, I see the download numbers. I know you guys are interested in Quinn Ewers content. So we will talk some Quinn Ewers on tomorrow's show. But Mark is out there covering. There's going to be a lot of big name quarterbacks out there. Mark's seeing it all in person and scouting it all in person. So that'll be a fun show tomorrow. He's also we have a running thread on our Ask the Insiders board all about the Elite 11. It's going to be probably just like our camp threads from Ohio State, where you get video, you get photos, you get insight, you get analysis, you get all that great stuff all in one place. Those were like incredibly popular all month of June. Now that we're in July and we're in national camp season, you're going to get some of those from some of the national camps that we're traveling to. But the only way you get them is if you're a member of BuckeyeScoop.com. So wouldn't this be a great time to sign up to be a member of BuckeyeScoop.com? Since we know you guys like Quinn Ewers content. I see the download numbers. You can't fool me. I know you're interested. So sign up today. And you're running out of time. If you want to win Nevada's 4 tickets to the Oregon game, you have to sign up by the 4th of July, which is Sunday. So go ahead and sign up today so you don't leave it till the last minute. Don't wait too long. Miss out on your chance to get 4 great tickets to the Oregon game, which the get-in price for 4 tickets right now is like $2,000. So you should go ahead and just sign up right now because that is a whole lot of money. You could get them for free, but you have to be a member of Buckeye Scoop by July 4th in order to win them. So also make sure you check out all of our great podcasts. You know where to find them. Just search Buckeye Scoop to find those. Finally, youtube.com/Buckeye Scoop. All of our podcasts, all of Mark's videos from the Elite 11, all our interviews with players, coaches, it's all going to be up there at youtube.com/Buckeye Scoop. If you hit the subscribe button, you'll get notified every time we post a new video. We have gained subscribers at a just like embarrassing rate this month. It has been ludicrous how many people have been signing up because turns out you guys, again, I see the numbers. You guys like the stuff we're doing. So that doesn't cost a penny. Just subscribe at youtube.com/Buckeye Scoop and you'll get notified every time we post a new video. Because again, we've had a bunch of stuff that people have enjoyed watching this month. So it seems like July will probably be more of the same. Hey, Big Ten Media Days are coming up. That's only a couple weeks away, and then the season starts. So lots of exciting stuff coming up, all at BuckeyeScoop.com, youtube.com/Buckeye Scoop, all of our podcasts. All of them, take it, do it all. Go ahead, sign up all the places. That's my advice for you. Sign up all the places, maybe win some Oregon tickets. Sounds like a pretty good deal to me. Thank you guys for joining us. Have a great day. We will talk to you tomorrow.